This is the Momentum Podcast.
When you're facing the pressure and noise and challenges of a growing business in an uncertain market, it can be difficult to know what the next right step to take is. Here's the reality. One of the most neglected areas of potential momentum for entrepreneurs is how you take care of yourself. Self-care is the biggest shortcut to success that you will find. In this episode of the Momentum Podcast, we're joined by Travis Barker, CEO of Easy IT Solutions. Travis gave this presentation at a recent Sharfen Summit, and he revealed that after spending time in our system, he's radically transformed his life, his relationships, and his business by understanding the right steps and committing himself fully to self-care. I hope you enjoy.
I'm Alex Sharfen, and this is the Momentum Podcast, made for empire builders, game changers, trailblazers, shot takers, record breakers, world makers, and creators of all kinds. Those among us who can't turn it off and don't know why anyone would want to. We challenge complacency, destroy apathy, and we are obsessed with creating momentum so we can roll over bureaucracy and make our greatest contribution. Sure, we pay attention to their rules, but only so that we can bend them, break them, then rewrite them around our own will. We don't accept our destiny, we define it. We don't understand defeat because you only lose if you stop, and we don't know how. While the rest of the world strives for average and clings desperately to the status quo, we are the minority, the few, who are willing to hallucinate there could be a better future. And instead of just daydreaming of what could be, we endure the vulnerability and exposure it takes to make it real. We are the evolutionary hunters, clearly the most important people in the world, because entrepreneurs are the only source of consistent, positive human evolution, and we always will be.
So for me, and this is by design, so you don't have the business you want because this sentence is powerful for me because I don't have the business that I want. And the things that I have heard, been told, or believed is that you don't have the right assets, you don't work hard enough, you don't have the contacts, you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the right people, you aren't in the right area, you don't have enough money, you don't have that's twice. You can't leave your 9-to-5 job. But really, the reason is because you haven't become the person who can run it yet. So, my name is Travis Barker. I'm the CEO of Easy IT Solutions. That quote for me is so powerful because I had a friend that shared that quote from Alex's wall, and that quote alone is why I'm a part of this group. And I can tell you exactly, so I booked a call, and Nicole was who I was on that call with. And the very first thing I said was, you have the easiest job right now because I already want in, and this is why. So it was glorious. That for me was a life-changing step. And that's why this presentation is designed around taking the right step. So what does taking a step look like? Buying every new tool that will fix your problem. Done that. Hiring a new employee just because someone said they're overloaded or overwhelmed. I've done that. Taking on clients that aren't a fit because you need the money. Done that one. Hovering over your employees to ensure things are done your way. Bonus if you do it without clear direction or expectation. And working harder, longer, and doing more just to get further ahead. And holding a meeting to schedule a meeting to discuss a meeting. I am guilty of all of those. And so what happens when you're an entrepreneur, in my opinion, the way I see this is you suddenly find yourself in a maze. And it's like we have this idea of what we want to do. You know, Alex, as we go into the future, we see it, what we want, we pull it. And how do we make that happen? Well, the problem is we're in a maze. And again, a maze, you're taking steps. Not every step is the right step. So what do? We look for a shortcut. How many people have looked for shortcuts in their business, trying to find, I'm going to do this because this is going to make it easier, and that's what's going to happen. I struggle with this immensely in my 7 years in business, and what I have learned in the last 4 months, there is no shortcut. Just doesn't happen. But what I can say is that I'm blessed with Alex, his team, and his program, because what they do is they show you the direction. So this maze that we're all in, they give you the path. And the cadence for us has done that. So what does a right step look like? Self-care, 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 self-care. And I'm going to stop on this for a minute because this is so powerful for me that really this is like everything for me is self-care. And I say that because I thought that I took pretty good care of myself 4 months ago. Like I thought I was doing a good job of taking care of myself. And then I met Alex, and Alex is like, yeah, no, you're not. And I remember at the last summit, I made the comment that I thought I was broken. And he's all like, you're not broken. You just go listen to PM Melody. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that. Listen to PM Melody. And we talked about it. He was like, go to therapy. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that. Go to therapy. So these are the things that I've started. So since I've started with Alex for self-care, I have a more refined morning routine. I've started breathing with Shane. I'm in therapy. I'm doing EMDR therapy. I've been doing ice plunge baths. The cadence. So me as a leader, there's more, but like these are just the main things that I've done in the last 5 months that have been major for me. So as soon as we started implementing the cadence, we did the time studies. So we understand, workload, inefficiencies, and need, building your vision, identifying your avatar, extracting your knowledge and building your processes around literally everything, delegating and trusting your team and your support system. And all of this, what this does is that it transforms you into a different person, and you start to see some things. You become a transparent leader. The relationship I have with my team is so much better than it was 6 months ago. Cody had talked about it briefly in the group he was in, but a year ago, we were in a terrible spot. We were literally broke beyond broke. I was $80,000 in debt. And about 6 months ago, I fired my partner that literally helped me build a business because he was so toxic. And when that happened, I'm like, okay, I need to do something different. I went through like 10 different mentors, 3 coaches, and nothing was working. And then I was so blessed to come across Alex that I got some direction. And so now I know where I'm going. I have my team. We now have trust, accountability, and structure, which again, we have a semblance of what we thought was there, but it actually wasn't. It was all just, fake, I guess, something that we perceived but didn't exist. My team's motivated, and we've now turned our team, my employees have become true believers. And that's really powerful for me because at first I felt like they just had a job. But as we've done a better job of casting our vision and giving them direction, they are actually like, they want to move the business forward, and they're dedicated. And that for me is huge. It's important for me because I want someone to know what they're doing and what their vision is and where they're going. Because I've worked in a corporate job and it kills me. It is the most draining thing in the world when you're told to sit down, shut up, and be a cog in a wheel. And then lastly, you finally understand the direction you need to go. And that's for me personally. And I think I can tie this back to Brent so much in the way he talked about it this morning, because we always want to fix everything in the world. And I think what happens is we do get easily distracted. And if you don't understand where you're going and how you want to get there, you'll just spin in circles. So you're just taking steps and you're not taking a step in the right direction.
Travis, thank you, man. So I've got a question for you, Travis. Give us a little bit, like I asked Brent a really direct question about one thing I pulled out of his presentation. Give us a little bit about what EMDR therapy has done for you. And I just want everyone here to know this is one of the things I advocate like crazy for entrepreneurs. And I talk about it all the time. I do podcasts on it. We've got a module on EMDR therapy. Travis, I'd like to know your personal experience with it.
So if you would have asked me 4 months ago if I would have gone to therapy, I would have said, hell no, I'm not crazy. I don't need it. Like nothing's wrong with me. And honestly, I probably wouldn't have done it if you hadn't brought it up. So for that, I'm grateful. So EMDR for me, I don't even know how to put it into words. I can tell you every time I do it, I feel like I run a marathon. Like when I'm done, my body just feels like. I got hit by a train, but in a really good way. Those two don't equate at all, but it is something. It's one of those things that you have to experience. I get in such a supercharged mindset after EMDR. I think I have clarity, but my mind just works when I'm done. Like the revelations I have going through that with my therapist are amazing. So I don't really know. It's one of those things that I can't, like, unless you experience it, you can't really talk about it or, try and relate it, I guess. It's helped me communicate better, I think, with everybody, my wife especially. So that's been really good.
It sounds like what you were describing at the end of the appointment there is like a physiological release. Like you go into this appointment, but you actually feel like you did something physical, but you don't really do something physical. Is that fair?
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's exactly what it is. And my therapist says, it's because your body's doing all of this work. So basically, and Alex, you probably know this better than I do, but basically EMDR, it basically mimics REM while you're awake. So you're getting all of your, you're not inhibiting yourself, your own thought process, your own, whatever you're doing to prevent yourself from feeling those emotions, those, any self-inhibiting factors that you go through really is what it is. And so it takes all those barriers down and your body feels that, but it also, your mind and your thought process is very clear. It's a very translucent experience.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the way that just to maybe help you fill in a little bit, Travis, on the kind of part of the science of it is that, the belief around trauma and the belief around discomfort that we carry around with us is now that a lot of that is somatically buried in our tissues. And so we carry, if you've heard the statement, the issues are in the tissues. Well, that's literally the belief that we carry around trauma and challenges and stuff in our bodies. And one of the reasons that I love EMDR is that on an intellectual capacity, on a conscious capacity and subconscious capacity, it helps you release. And I feel the same way, Travis. I had a session with my therapist earlier this week where, I wanted to like lay down on the ground and just rest afterwards. But at the same time, I felt like I had just like released so much and I felt lighter and better. And it's like this interesting dichotomy. But when you do EMDR with a good therapist, it just helps you release so much. And here's one of the reasons that I love it. I think that sometimes for people like us, I think cognitive behavioral therapy where you talk can be very effective. In my experience, most entrepreneurs don't really love a therapist to sit around across from them and say, well, how does that make you feel? And how does that make you feel? And how does that make you feel? Like I've been through that type of therapy and I found it frustrating and sometimes triggering. And EMDR is like a laser target therapy where you don't have to go through that whole dialogue and the therapist isn't like reflecting back what you said. It's a lot more active and a lot more productive in my opinion. So would you agree with that, Travis?
Yeah, I'm fortunate that we have a good therapist here. So like I literally went to my therapist. I'm like, I need someone that will do this like indefinitely because I'm an entrepreneur. My life sucks and I'm busy. And they're like, so you're not, what's the goal? I'm like, I don't know. We'll talk about that every week. She's like, okay, let's do it.
Nice. So if any of you are interested in, and Travis, thank you for the presentation, by the way, everybody. Is there any questions for Travis, comments? Does anyone have anything that they would like to add?
I have something, Alex, if it's okay. And if Travis,
yeah, let's hear it.
Fine. I'm curious, Travis, thank you for sharing because it's been awesome to watch your growth. And you did a really good job at sharing like the things that you invested in and all the things you did. And I'm wondering if you would mind sharing the experience of the impact of the people around you of like the morning routine.
That's good.
Doing the EMDR, like working with the team. What has been the impact or like the experience after that and going through it?
I guess I can't speak for them necessarily, but I feel like we communicate better. I show up differently at home and at work, and I I say that, but it's like I never really thought anything was wrong before. And so I was coming from this place and like, oh, I'm okay. And everyone else is at fault, maybe.
Is it less of that entrepreneurial guilt type thing that sometimes entrepreneurs carry?
I don't know. It could have been, but I think I think there were two things that happened. One, I changed my perspective a lot and doing a lot of the breathing stuff with Shane, going through EMDR. And I think I became a lot more content with myself and my situation. I'm kind of an insatiable person. And so I was always discontented with where I'm at because I want more. And so I kind of just learned to kind of accept that and be in the moment. And with that, I've just, I've been able to communicate better with my family, spending more time with my kids at night. I have 5 kids, so that's hard to do. But just I guess it really helps me be more aware in the moment. And the last self-care thing that I'm doing, or that I've started recently, so I'm doing the ice plunges or the ice baths, and I did them for 6 days. That in itself is a transformational experience. Holy cow, let me tell you. I didn't do it yesterday because I overslept, and I did it this morning, and I felt like I was starting over. That's one of those things that you don't want to miss because progress regresses really fast.
So good. Thank you for sharing that. That was powerful.
Travis's story is incredible. And if you're ready to learn the same systems, processes, and structures that we teach entrepreneurs in order to take care of themselves and become more effective leaders in their businesses, we're ready to help you. If you go to billionairecode.com right now, you'll be able to get on a call with a member of our coaching team and find out which one of our programs best fits the needs of your business right now. Let us show you the steps on the Billionaire Code that you can take right now in order to lay a foundation for your business so that you can grow a world-changing empire. Go to billionairecode.com right now to get started.